The fat controller sat in his office listening to the noise outside. The passengers were angry. The station master came in. There's trouble in the shed, sir. Henry is sulking, there's no train, and the passengers are saying this is a bad railway. Indeed, said the fat controller, we cannot allow that. He found Gordon, James, and Henry looking very cross. Come along, Henry, it's time your train was ready.
ヘンリーはどこにも行かない。一般的なタンク機関車のように切り替えるつもりはない。それがトーマスの仕事だった。私たちはあなたの鉄道にとって重要な産業のテンダー機関車です。貨車や客車を持ってきてくれるなら引っ張りますが、自分たちで調達しなければならないのはみっともない。
Oh, indeed, said the fat controller. We'll see about that. Engines on my railway do as they are told. And he hurried away to find Edward. The yard has never been the same since Thomas left to run his branch line, he thought sadly. Edward was shouting. Leave those trucks, please, Edward, said the fat controller. I want you to push coaches for me in the yard.
ありがとう。それは素敵なことだと思う。
That's a good engine. Off you go then. So Edward found coaches for the 3 engines, and that day the trains ran as usual. Next morning, Edward looked unhappy. Gordon came clanking past, hissing rudely. Bless me, said the fat controller. What a noise.
他の機関車はみんな私に蒸気を吹きかけてくる。私のようなテンダー機関車は発着場では働かないとも言うし、ゆんべは私の車輪が黒いと言われた。違うでしょ？
No, Edward, you have nice blue ones and I'm proud of you. Tender engines do shunt. But all the same, we do need another tank engine here. He went to a workshop and they showed him all sorts of engines. At last he saw a smart little green engine with 4 wheels. That's the one, he thought. If I choose you, will you work hard?
はい、そうします。
That's a good engine. I'll call you Percy.
はい、ありがとうございます。
And the fat controller brought him back to the yard. Edward, he called, here's Percy. Will you show him everything? Percy soon learned what he had to do, and they had a happy afternoon. Then Henry came by, hissing as usual. Went Percy. Henry jumped and ran back to the shed.
なんと見事に彼を吹き飛ばしたことか。僕にはあんな風に吹っ切れないよ。
ああ、何でもないよ。以前働いていたところでは、他の機関車に言うことを聞かせるためにいつもそうしていたよ。
Next morning, Thomas arrived.
トップハムハット卿に呼ばれました。私の助けが必要なのだろう。
Shh.
彼は今すぐ来る。
Well done, Thomas. You've been quick. Listen, Henry, Gordon, and James are sulking. They say they won't shunt like common tank engines. So I have shut them up and I want you both to run the line for a while.
そうなのか？彼らは明らかに我々の能力を知らない。彼らに見せてやろう。
And Percy will help too.
ああ、そうだ、すぐに。
Answered Percy. Edward and Thomas worked the main line, greeting each other as they passed by. Percy puffed along the branch line. Thomas was anxious about Annie and Clara, but both driver and guard promised to take care of them. There were fewer trains, but the passengers didn't mind. They knew the 3 other engines were having a lesson. Gordon, James, and Henry were cold, lonely, and miserable. They wished now they hadn't been so silly.